Welcome to your practice. Today in this session we're working with the energy of the solar plexus, the Manipura chakra, and we'll be working with a couple of things to support the practice, bringing the idea of golden light that streams from the solar plexus into the mix, wrapping ourselves up in that energy, and also having a visualization of the Agni flame, which burns just a little lower than the solar plexus. And when we're thinking about the Agni flame, letting that be really tall, letting it be long, and letting it be steady and bright, rather than being influenced by shifting Vata energy, that wind or air energy, letting it burn steady and bright as your breath comes to settle, to smooth, and to lengthen. So we'll also be working with the Manipura mudra today. This is when we take the hands to Anjali initially. Then we're going to curl all the fingers in together and then extend the middle fingers long, the tips of the middle fingers resting against each other. And we bring the thumb tips to rest against each other as well, having the hands right at the solar plexus and letting those middle fingers represent that steadily burning Agni flame. So let's begin then. We'll close the eyes or soften the gaze. Just taking a moment now to really arrive here into your space for this practice. Pressing the pause button on any distracting thoughts, concerns, or to-do lists. Allowing all of these things to just sit by the side of the mat now. And giving yourself this time to be completely present for your practice. Right here and right now. Meandering through your body now, from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Becoming aware of places in your body that might be holding a sense of tension or tightness or fatigue. And then noticing too where your body is feeling the opposite way, where there might be a sense of spaciousness, of vitality, and strength in the body. Acknowledging that opposites are always present in the body and welcoming everything about how you are physically, just as it is right now. And connecting to your breathing now. Aware of the air as it moves in through the nose and out through the nose. Noticing how deeply you're breathing. Noticing the texture of your breath. Maybe it's quite smooth. Maybe it's a little jagged. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. Without judging or criticizing any aspect of your breathing, welcoming it just as it is. And then taking your next inhalation into the center of your chest, expanding your breath to the sides, the back and front, upwards and downwards, meeting that natural pause at the top of your inhalation. And then starting to exhale, drawing inwards and upwards through the body as you let go of the breath, meeting the pause at the end of your exhalation. Breathing in again, right into the center of your chest, taking your breath in every direction, finding the pause at the top of your inhalation. And then exhaling again, drawing inwards and upwards through the body, as you let go of the breath and anything that no longer serves you, carried by the breath. Finding the pause at the end of your exhale again. And we'll continue to breathe this way through our practice today, putting your attention on this conscious 4-part breathing pattern. Aware, of course, of the movements of air in and out of your lungs, but also being present right there in the little pauses in between. These places where we get to drop into quiet and stillness. And when we breathe this way, It helps us to be able to start to slow the breathing down. And in slowing down the breath, we also have the chance to quieten a busy mind, to soothe the nervous system, and to connect to a felt sense of sattva, of harmony, balance, equilibrium through the body, the mind, and the spirit. Let's bring our hands to Anjali Mudra now as we set intention for this practice. Bringing attention to the solar plexus right at the middle of the spine. Visualizing a beautiful golden light radiating from this chakra. Wrapping yourself up in this energy of authenticity, of your essence, of your truest self. And visualizing that Agni flame burning steady and bright. Holding that visualization close to your heart today as we practice. Honoring you as you are. Let's breathe in now. We'll open the arms wide and grow the spine tall. As you exhale, bring the hands into the heart, bowing down to your own heart's energy. Raise your arms high now, breathing in. And then on exhale, take a twist towards the left. And we start by grounding the pose, drawing down through the sitting bones, connecting to everything that supports you in your life, that resource of Ishvara. Allow the movement into this twist to come from the middle of the spine, from the solar plexus. So you might let your chin drift back to center if you're holding tension in your neck. Rather than leading with the gaze, we're leading from authenticity, from the solar plexus. Raise your arms again, breathing in. And then on exhale, we'll twist to the right. Again, we start by drawing down and grounding, connecting to everything that supports you. And then feel into the spine as it rises tall. Pay attention to your neck on this side, maybe easing off a little if need be. Moving from the solar plexus, following your breath. Raise your arms high now, breathing in. And then when you exhale, reach out to the right side, holding here for a little bit. Drawing the left hip down, lifting the left ribs high to the ceiling as we open up through the side body. Allowing Ama, this energy that we hold on to that isn't serving us, to be breathed out of the body. And in doing this, making space for everything that will support you today. Return to center again, breathing in. And then we'll move to the other side now, holding here for a little bit. This time, draw the right hip down, lifting the right ribs high as we open up again through the side body. Happily, willingly letting go of the energy that isn't serving us, the energy we carry consciously, and also the energy we carry without even knowing about it. Breathing this out and making space. Raise your arms again, breathing in. And then we'll sweep the arms behind the body, coming up onto the fingertips, lifting the heart, opening through the throat and broadening across the collarbones, radiating that beautiful golden light from the solar plexus, shining that light all around you, imagining that you're creating a cloche of this golden energy. Take one more breath in here. And then when you exhale, drop chin to chest, hands to heart, curling forward a little. Send your arms wide as you breathe in now, finding a neutral spine, and then float your arms down on the exhale. We'll come onto hands and knees now and set up in cat pose. You might like something soft under your knees. And we'll have the block close by. So paying attention to how we're supporting our shoulders in weight bearing, keeping just a little bit of softness in the elbows rather than locking up through the elbows and the shoulders. Lengthen out from the crown to the tailbone and draw the belly in. Breathe in here in cat, and then we'll move to cow pose on the exhale. Return to cat again, breathing in, lifting your gaze, and then moving on to child's pose as you exhale. Introducing the mantra, my breath is my guide, as you breathe into cat. It leads me to stillness as you exhale. Returning to cat, my breath is my guide. And onto child's pose, it leads me to stillness. Continuing to move through cat-cow, cat-child with this mantra in play. My breath is my guide. It leads me to stillness. And then when you next arrive in cat pose, we'll meet there. Let's exhale and send the right arm through and under the left. And then inhale and send the right arm high, your gaze to the fingertips. Feeding the arm through as you exhale and sending it high on the inhalation. So again, let's make this movement start at the solar plexus each time we're coming into the twist, letting the head follow the solar plexus, leading from that place of authenticity. And the next time you thread through and under, let's bring the head down to the floor. So you might choose to rest your head on your block if you like, resting the right side of the face down, or bring your head right down to the floor. Inching the fingers away from the midline, breathing into the back of the heart, accessing that space that is there just to nurture you. The front of the heart is what we offer everybody else, and the back of the heart is just for you. Finish this round of breath and take one more. And then find your way back to cat pose again. Let's lengthen out. Breathe in here. And then as you exhale, send the left arm through and under the right. Send that arm high as you breathe in again. And then thread it through and under as you exhale. So again, we're moving from the middle of the spine, following your breath, moving at your pace. And this time when you thread through and under, let's bring the head to rest down on the mat or on your block, the left side of the face down, and we'll inch the fingers away from the midline again and breathe into the back of the heart. Prana being carried by your breath through the body, nourishing, healing, and restoring. Finish the round of breath you're taking and have one more. And then find your way back to cat pose again now. Breathe in here and then move to child's pose. Come all the way up onto your knees now, making a big circle around the body with the arms, bringing the palms together and lifting the gaze. Sweep the arms behind the body now, bringing the hands to the back of the pelvis and pressing into the pelvis, lifting the heart and broadening through the collarbones. Imagine a sling dropping from the sky, supporting you underneath the torso, lifting the heart a little higher as we open up through the solar plexus area. And imagine that beautiful golden light streaming evenly, smoothly from the solar plexus, creating that beautiful cloche of golden light around you. Raise your arms, find a neutral gaze, and then let's float the hands down to the mat now. Come onto your tummy, and we're going to set up for upward facing dog next. Let's take the hands right underneath the shoulders, the elbows come into the waist, and we inch the toes away from the ground, so we're tractioning the spine a little. Breathe in and lift the chest off the mat, unfurling to the top of your neck. Begin your exhale and then gently lower yourself down. Rising into the shape as you breathe in, leading from the heart, the head following the heart. Lower yourself down as you exhale. And this time when you come to upward facing dog, let's hold in the shape. Let's keep the shoulders well clear of the ears. And as we lift the heart, again, imagine space being created all around the solar plexus and that beautiful golden light shining strong from that chakra. Lower yourself down again when you're ready, and then we'll wrap the hands around the opposite elbows, resting in crocodile pose. Let your head rest on the forearm, letting the weight of your head drop into the third eye. Whenever we put this kind of pressure on the third eye area, it helps the body release oxytocin, that beautiful feel-good hormone. So putting a little pressure on the third eye is a wonderful way to relax and to let go. Breathing into the back of the heart again, opening up into that space, and that is there just to nurture you. And then when you're ready, let's find our way onto the back now. Bend the knees. And we'll ideally line up the hips, the knees and the ankles now, pressing into the 3 points of support in your feet, under the big toe, under the pinky and under the heel. And then when you're ready, breathe in, lift the hips and the chest into the air and take your arms overhead or wide. Begin your exhalation and then gently roll yourself back down again. Rising into the shape as you breathe in, lifting the hips and heart high. Start your exhale and then begin to roll down. Moving in and out of the shape, led by your breath, and still observing those little pauses in your breathing as they rise, dropping into that quiet there. And when you come into the elevated position next, we'll meet there. Let's bring the arms back down to the mat though. We're going to clasp the hands behind the back and walk the shoulders in a little. Get into your feet again. Press into those 3 points of support in the feet. Let's fire up through the calves, through the thighs, the glutes, the abdominal wall. Press down with the back of the shoulders and the upper arms, and feel the weight of the body being carried evenly throughout. You might imagine again that sling dropping from the sky, supporting you under the torso, lifting the torso a little higher as we open up the area all around the solar plexus. And visualize that beautiful golden light streaming, creating that cloche of gold around the body. Take one more breath in here, and then let's super gently roll down to the mat again. Lift your feet off the floor. You might like to rock or roll. You might like to take happy baby, just finding out whatever feels right for you to ease out any tension that you're finding. Come back to center. And then we'll drop the knees open wide, bringing the soles of the feet together in butterfly pose. Broadening out through the back of the shoulders, aware of the weight of the arms on the earth, the weight of the head, and sensing into softness as it fills the whole of the abdomen when you breathe in. Softness merging into the hip creases and into the inner thighs. And then notice as you're exhaling that gentle consolidation through the midline of the body as the abdominal wall gets involved in that exhalation, supporting the exhale. So there's this sense of expansion and softness every time you're breathing in, and a sense of grounding and consolidation every time you breathe out. Imagine you're being held in the most beautiful golden bowl right now, fully supported in the energy of Ishvara, of everything that supports you in your life and holds you steady and strong, allowing yourself to just be cradled in that energy. And then take a hold of the outer edges of the mat now, leaving your legs and your feet as they are. We're going to breathe in and lift the hips into the air, pulling the mat away from the crown, tractioning the arms. Press down with the back of the shoulders and the upper arms. Press the feet into each other as we hold flying butterfly, lifting from the solar plexus, expanding into that beautiful energy again of authenticity, the seat of the soul, your absolute essence. Take one more breath in here, and then let go of the mat, and we're going to release the back in one piece rather than rolling down. Bring your knees back together, and you might just like to zigzag the knees side to side, resetting the spine. And then release the feet to the mat now. We're going to get our blocks, and let's pop the block under the pelvis. Now, you might choose the shorter edge of the block. You might feel like the middle edge today. See what feels right for you. And every day we practice, the body is a little different. So pay attention to what feels right today. Press down with the back of the shoulders, broadening them out. Feel the earth under the palms, under your arms too. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the feet off the mat and let the feet just dangle for a moment while you reorient here. And then when you're ready, send your legs up into the air. You might like to point your toes. You might feel like flexing your feet. Have a little play, see what's calling you today. And as we hold this inversion, let's visualize that Agni flame again, burning brightly, burning smoothly. But in this inversion, the flame is burning in the opposite direction. Normally, the flame burns towards the crown. And in inversions, it burns towards the root chakra. And this illuminates any energy that is there, that is stagnant, that isn't needed anymore. And it transforms it into the finest, silkiest ash that nourishes the soil all around us. And in particular, as it's burning into the sacral chakra, it's giving us more space for creative energy, for expansive thinking, for amazing ideas to come to us, creating space there. Take one more round of breath here. And then let's bend the knees, letting the feet just dangle for a moment. And then return the feet to the floor, lift up the pelvis, take the block out, and bring yourself down. We'll lengthen out through the middle of the mat now, straightening out the legs. And you might spread your fingers out either side of your thighs just to work out where you are. And if you're not quite in the middle, taking yourself there now. When you're ready, lift the head and the shoulders up, bringing these to the right edge of the mat. And that might be enough of a lateral movement today, or if you'd like to take it further, you can walk your feet over to the right edge as well. Some people like to rest their feet side by side. Some people find it more comfortable to rest the left foot on the right ankle. And let's just check in on the pelvis, nice and square there. With your left hand, it could stay by the hip, or it might come out to the side, or you might even trace the floor overhead with your fingertips. Give your head a little movement, work out where your neck wants to be placed, and then inch the fingers of the right hand towards the knee, arriving in banana pose. This lateral movement that allows that release again of ama, that energy held in the body that doesn't serve us. And every time we have the opportunity to release ama, we're creating the space for the energy to move in that will support and nourish us in our lives. Breathing prana from the finest point of white light in your heart, out with the breath through to the ends of the fingers and toes and everywhere in between, nourishing the whole left side of the body with animating life force. Finish the round of breath you're taking, and then have one more. And then we'll release that left arm down. Bring your feet back to the middle of the mat. And last of all, the head and the shoulders come back to the middle, and we just stop for a moment to be the witness. Noticing the left side of the body and the right side of the body. Even stepping outside of your body for a moment to be aware of sensations as they're arising. And noticing the difference in energy on either side of the body. Maybe the left side feels brighter or lighter as we were directing prana through that side. Maybe the right side's kind of smaller or darker. Whatever is present for you, just acknowledging that without putting any judgment around it. And then let's take our banana pose to the other side. So we'll lift the head and the shoulders up again, bringing these to the left edge this time. And again, maybe that's enough of a lateral movement on the side, or maybe you'd like to go further, walking your feet to the left edge as well, resting them side by side, or resting your right foot on your left ankle if that feels better. Check in on your pelvis, nice and even there. And then with your right hand, it could stay by the hip, or it could come out to the side, or you might even trace the floor overhead with your fingertips, arriving in banana pose on this side. And give the head a little movement again, work out where your neck wants to be, inch the fingers of the left hand towards the knee as we open up laterally on the right, releasing that energy, consciously held, and also the energy we don't even know that we're holding that isn't serving us anymore. Willingly and happily letting this go in order to make space. Finish the round of breath you're taking now. And then we'll release the arm back down by the side of the body. And bring your feet back to the midline. And last of all, the head and the shoulders come to the midline. And again, we just stop and observe the body as it is. Left side and right side. Stepping outside of yourself again and being that witness to sensation, being that witness to the energy of your body as it is in this moment. And then bend your knees and going to outstretch the arms. Let's take the right foot on top of the left knee. We'll breathe in here, and then when you exhale, bring the knees over to the right side. Initially, let's support the right knee with the hand and forearm, and then we'll start to ease off on that support. Notice if your left shoulder starts to lift off the mat. If it does, get the support back to the knees, place the shoulders down nice and evenly, and then perhaps letting that go or maintaining it if that is required at the moment. You might gaze to the ceiling, you might gaze to the left, inching the fingers of the left hand just a little further away to create just a bit more space to breathe freely and deeply through the left side of the ribcage. And feeling into all the points of contact you're making with the earth right now. Drawing down into this sense of Ishvara, of everything that supports you and grounds you in your life, being held in that energy. Come back to center when you're ready, and then we'll swap the feet over. So this time the left foot goes on top of the right ankle. Take a breath in there, and then we'll drop the knees over to the left side. Let's start by supporting the knees on the left with the hand and forearm, maybe letting them just come on over. But again, if you notice the right shoulder lifting off the mat, support your knees again, bring the shoulders down nice and evenly, and then work out what you want to do about the knees. Maybe gaze to the ceiling, maybe gaze to the right. Inch the fingers of the right hand a little further away as we make space to breathe a little more deeply, to let go of the breath and drop into the pause at the end of your exhale. And feeling all the points of contact you're making with the earth again, really being held and supported in the energy of Ishvara. Completely supported in your practice and in your life. Come back to center when you're ready. And let's lift the feet off the mat now. We'll take the hands over the top of the kneecaps. Let's breathe in, sending the legs away. Start to exhale and bring your knees into the chest. Send the legs away as you breathe in, opening the arms wide this time. And then on exhale, bringing everything back into the midline. And as you're sending the legs away, let's imagine your fingertips are moving through that beautiful dome of golden light radiating from the solar plexus, creating that cloche of light around the body. Letting this one be your last round of Apanasana. And then let's roll over to the right side. And Nice and gently, without forcing anything, come up onto your hands and knees. Taking a few rounds of cat-cow with your mantra, my breath is my guide. It leads me to stillness. Or if you feel like it, you might continue with that mantra, but just be swirling around in Ganesha pose, leading the body back, gliding forward, and letting your breath lead you to the places that are holding dukkha, holding tightness, restriction, fatigue. Being quite intuitive in this movement and breathing into those spaces, offering prana, offering sukha, sweetness there as you breathe into the dukkha in your body. Handing over to the wisdom of your body to lead you to exactly where you need to move. And then find your way to child's pose now and take your knees quite wide. Either bringing your head down to the mat or resting your head on your block. Dropping the weight of the head into the third eye again. Welcoming that release of oxytocin through the body. Breathing into the back of the heart. Accessing that part of the heart reserved just to nurture you. Taking this time to be present with yourself, to offer yourself your best nurturing energy. Walk your hands back to the body now. And then let's come to a comfortable seated position for our breath practice. You might be cross-legged or kneeling or legs out front. You might be on a chair. Whatever feels best. And let's find a long spine here, the crown floating over the heart over the tailbone, the tailbone over the earth. And just returning to being present in the four parts of your breathing again. The movement of air in and out of your lungs and the pauses in between. And then when you're ready, bring your left hand towards your face. We're going to put the index finger at the third eye, resting the thumb and the middle finger against the nostrils, just gently. Let's breathe in freely through both nostrils. And then when you breathe out, close off the right nostril, breathing out through the left. Breathe in freely through both nostrils. And then close off the left, breathing out of the right one. Breathing in freely through both. Breathing out of the left. Breathing in freely through both. And breathing out of the right. Continuing at your own pace. Getting a sense of left and right, right and left. And visualizing that beautiful Agni flame burning so smoothly, burning so tall and bright, steadied by this smooth breathing and steadied by everything that supports you from underneath. Finish the round of breath you're taking and have one more. And then release the hand from the face. Returning to just watching that 4-part breath again. Seeing yourself sitting in a cloche of golden light and seeing this light emanating from the solar plexus in every direction. See yourself sitting in that beautiful golden bowl of Ishvara, of the energy that forms the foundation of your life and holds you steady and strong every single day. The Agni flame burning smooth and tall and bright. Sense the crown of the heart over the tailbone over the earth. And tune in to the subtle flow of prana through the central channel of the body as all the energy centers come to balance and harmony now, holding you in a state of sattva, of equilibrium, as we close this session. Bring the hands to the center of the forehead, inviting inspiration, creativity, and wonder into our thoughts. Bring the hands to the throat, inviting kindness and gratitude into all of our words. And the hands to the heart center as a reminder to move through all of our days with our hearts wide open, receptive to everything nourishing and beautiful in our world. And then let's curl all the fingers in, extending the middle fingers long as we hold Manipura Mudra. The thumb tips coming together and holding the hands at the solar plexus. Setting the intention to let solar plexus energy lead you today. Starting everything you do today from this place of authenticity, personal power, the seat of the soul, your absolute essence, and trusting in everything that supports that from underneath. Wrapping yourself up in golden light as you move into the day. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra now and bow the head down to the heart, honoring you exactly as you are. And we'll finish our session by chanting the sound of Om together. We'll open the arms wide as we breathe in and hands to heart as we chant. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.